Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for your Liverpool versus Chelsea preview. Absolute mid-off, a game, a battle of the clap, El Crapico, El Sakico, El Shitico, whatever you want to call it in the comments as rival fans. It was literally a game that got no hype, no build-up, and we see why, because it had no end product. No build-up play, no end product. Do you know what I'm saying? This game was exactly what we all kind of hoped it wouldn't be. 0-0. Yes, a clean sheet. Back-to-back clean sheets for both teams. Obviously, Chelsea having their clean sheet against Palace. Liverpool having their clean sheet in midweek against Wolves. A lot more compact performances from both sides. A lot less hectic and chaotic. But we, as mid-table fondlers, as mid-table maestros, just wanted some entertainment. Could we please just get a little bit of, flair, some ability, some passing accuracy, some sort of weight of pass, maybe even some goals. But no, not today. There are positives to take from the 0-0, I guess, is the defense keeping back-to-back clean sheets. Like I said, Thiago Silva, once again, incredible. Just such a great performance from him. A massive, crucial header that he made from Harvey Elliott's cross. This guy ages like fine wine, and I'm starting to think I need to come up with a better line for him, because he's just unstoppable right now. He needs a new contract. He needs to be here next season, regardless of how many games he's playing. To play at this level at 8 years of age, 37 years of age, whatever it is, it's just insane. And yeah, he was arguably man of the match. I think Ziyech as well was right up there for man of the match for us, because at least he was our most dangerous attacker. He played very well. Trevor Chalobah was really good at right back as well defensively. Dealt with Harvey Elliott, who I wasn't expecting to play on that left-hand side. I was more expecting Gakpo to play on that left, Salah to go to the middle, and then Elliott to go on the right. But listen, Trevor really mopped up very well over there, intercepted, made his tackles, was really good 1v1, just really dominant display from him. Back-to-back right-back performances, solid from him. Badiashile. Hey, listen, 2-2. Two performances from him, two outstanding performances from him. Calm, composed, really good passer. Gave the ball a couple of times in the first half, but left-footed, it makes a big difference. You can see having a left-footed centre-back in there. It's much more comfortable, much more at ease, opens up the passing lanes a lot better, much more space on the pitch in terms of, making those switches if you wish. We're going to hopefully see more of that with Reece James when he comes back. But really good from him again. And Cucurella was solid enough as well. Salah at times was causing a few issues in the box, close control, but Liverpool were not very good going forward today. Gakpo was smashing them at fans, poor people in the ground. I don't know what they've done to offend him. I mean, some of the shots in the first half were just so wayward, so chaotic. And this is meant to be a player that's meant to be, pretty calm and composed with his finishing. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Salah was not on the level that, we would have expected in prior games. Like I said, Chelsea versus Liverpool has been a very close affair many a time. 2 draws last season in cup finals, a draw at home in a 2-2, a 1-1 at Anfield last season. Very tight games under Thomas Tuchel. This ends in a draw as well, under completely different circumstances, because the two teams are just horrendous, in horrendous circumstances in the table. So Salah wasn't at his brilliant best either. Nobody was for Liverpool, really. And I'm so disappointed with the 0-0, I'm not going to lie, despite the positives, because I feel like we could have come away with a win. I really do feel like the game was there for us. It was right there. Liverpool were nothing special. We, dominated in the first half in terms of chances created, big chances created. We hit the woodwork. We had a couple corners. Obviously, the goal was offside as well from Kai Havertz. And I just wanted us to please find one way through. But when you have midfielders that cannot spot the pass, and even if they do spot it, the weight of pass today, people, it was so poor. The passing was so average. It was genuinely lower division level. It was so bad at times. Giving the ball away, not being able to give us the final ball constantly. Kai Havertz worked his socks off in the first 15, 20, 30 minutes. I think he was solid in the first half, to be honest. He was one of the brighter sparks with Ziyech, Gallagher and Mount joining in that attack. Were not anywhere near as good as those two. But then it kind of faltered away for Kai Havertz as the game went on. Obviously, he ended up coming off. Aubameyang comes on. The substitutions happen. And at halftime, I was saying the passing is a problem from Mount, from Gallagher at times, from even Lewis Hall, Jorginho in the first half. Again, Lewis Hall giving the ball away so much. giving the ball away so much, but he's young, so these are teething problems. I hope people don't make massive conclusions, massive statements on his name in terms of his projections and his potential. This is what happens when you play young players that are 18 years old, etc., for the first time in their first Premier League season. They are going to make mistakes. They are going to have rough with the smooth. And that is something that I am willing to put up with, of course, because we're mid-table. So better to have those players come in and do it than the experienced players, because we just had Koulibaly giving us iffy performances. We've had Aubameyang give us iffy performances with not too much service, to be fair. We've had very experienced players in this team give us iffy performances. So if we're not going to take it from the 18-year-olds, I mean, listen, who are we going to take it? At least they're developing, at least they're learning. You could say Lewis Hall had a big learning curve today. He definitely looked a little bit, I don't know, was it nerves? I don't know what it was. He's at Anfield for the first time. It's not easy. It's a big crowd. And yeah, he did kind of shrink under the pressure and he gave the ball away a bit too much. So he had to come off. But Gallagher and Mount have got a lot more experience. Jorginho a lot more experience. And again, today the passing wasn't great. I think Jorginho was better in the second half, to be honest. When we again tried to keep the ball, he was helping us get out of the defense of his build-up play. And he was able to receive the ball in between the lines and try to progress the ball. A few times he tried to progress it, and he did progress it quite well to Gallagher. But Gallagher again, Mount, we're a possession-based team, guys. I get the work rate. I get the hard work. I get the winning the ball back. There was a phase where we won the ball back. Mount won the ball back. He did very well to win it back. And then he didn't get a shout from his teammate. Maybe Ziyech didn't say anything and he lost the ball in the second half. It's, on the ball, Gallagher, again, last few minutes, giving the ball away, not able to work it out in tight situations. If you're going to be in a possession-based team, if you're going to be in a team that wants to win things in terms of the league, if you're going to be in a team that is working within tight spaces and has to find solutions and has to be able to play that pass in between, in between the small gaps, you have to be able to do that. At Chelsea Football Club, you have to be good on the ball. It's not good enough to be hard working. It's not good enough to win the ball back and then give it away. It's not good enough to be able to not play that ball in between the lines. You have to be able to do that. It is mandatory. It's absolutely mandatory. So hard work is mandatory, 100%. So we give it its flowers, 100%. I approve of the hard work. I appreciate the hard work. I appreciate the battling, the tackling. But you have to be able to be good on the football. And for Mason Mount, I know he can be good on the football. He's regressed. He's stagnated. He's been poor this season. So for me, he can't play anywhere else but the midfield three. And even then, when you're looking at Andre Santos balling out for Brazil under-20s, when he comes into the team, he's going to be competition. If we sign Caicedo at Brighton, he's going to be competition. At the moment, Mount has got to be on the bench. After this 13-day break, when we go Fulham West Ham, you can't sit here and tell me that he deserves to start. Nobody with a right frame of mind can tell me that he deserves to continue to start matches. He has not been playing well. It's not to target him. It's not to attack. I really do love the player in terms of when he's at his best in his first Player of the Year season. He was brilliant. Such a high ceiling, in my opinion. I still want that contract to be done up as long as it is for a reasonable amount of money, not 300k. Because I think when you look at his whole Chelsea career, he deserves to still be here. I don't believe he deserves to be sold. I think that's taking it too far. I think he has contributed a lot over the last couple of years. I think that shows for itself when you go back and look. But we have to live in the now. And right now, his performances are not good enough. So he has to be on the bench. He has to be. And I don't know if Andre Santos can feature anytime soon. I don't know what's going on there. But I would, I think the work permanent was sorted. I believe. I would love to see him, or somebody in there, please, anyone, because it's getting very tiring. And like I said with Gallagher, just again, hard working. I get it. Very good against Palace, but on the ball, very limiting at the moment. Ziyech, like I said, was our best attacker, and even he is quite predictable with his delivery. He's going to cut in on the left foot and switch it inside, but at least he was giving us quality delivery at times. Some really good balls into the box on the set pieces as well. We could have easily had a debut goal for Badiashile. And Mudyrk, when he came on, at least he gave us something different. He was a bright spark. You could tell he was a natural winger. Mount is not a winger. So he, like I said, he needs to be playing the midfield three or on the bench. But, at the moment, it will be more likely the bench at the moment on form, even though that form is collected out of position. But just even in general, you know, even if you are playing out of position and you find yourself in a pocket of space that you would find yourself in if you was playing in a midfield three, let's not pretend like as if, oh, he was tasked to stay on the left wing, or certain players are tasked to stay on the left wing and they're not allowed to move off the touchline and you're completely out of position. No, he was finding himself in areas today where as a midfielder you would be, so you have to be better. Mudyrk for me was very promising, very, very promising. Yes, his first touch was a bit rusty. Like I said, he hasn't played since late November, so that comes part and parcel with it. But he had a great 1-2 with Gallagher. The shot, unlucky, he didn't score. And lightning quick, as we can see. Nutmegged a couple people. I think he nutmegged Gakpo, much like Felix did on his debut. So again, it's good to see the technical quality there. He will kick on, hopefully, after the 13-day gap and do what he does. But yeah, for me, it's like we didn't find him enough. Even though he did get a fair share of the ball, I wanted him to get more of it. You know, he's come on now. James Milner's on a yellow card. Can we get Mudyrk the ball as much as possible? And there's so many times where, unfortunately, he was way open on the left. Ziyech spotted him one time, but there was another opportunity to spot him on the left and we didn't get him. And for me, we should have been funneling the ball into Mudyrk as much as possible to see what he can do. We might have got a goal out of it. Carney, when he came on, frustrating. He had 2 opportunities, I think, to score, didn't take them. Again, he's young, so, you know, not much first team football under his belt. So we're going to expect mistakes, but again, you know, not great. And on the bench, we know, looking at that bench, if we're lacking passes, look to that bench now. I wouldn't say Carney's an elite passer. He's not. Of course he's not. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, you know, you're not expecting great passing there. So when you really deep it, there's no solution to this passing thing apart from purchases. We know that the players at the moment, the passing is just poor. So it's tough, man. It's tough. I don't really take much pleasure from the draw because Liverpool, in the state that they're in, they're beatable, very beatable, and we saw that today when we played them. We could have easily beaten them. But we move, people. We move. There's nothing more we can do about it. There are positives to take in terms of the performances from the defence. From Ziyech again, back-to-back, decent, good performances. But it's very difficult for me right now because I just feel like that attack could be so much better. That midfield could be so much better. And it's not at the moment, and we kind of have to just walk with the punches. In terms of Liverpool, they didn't really offer too much. Gakpo, nothing special. Nunes, when he came on, one chance I can remember. Even their midfield that they selected, same midfield from last week, I expected it to be actually a lot better than it was. It wasn't anything special today. So yeah, just a mid-off, an absolute mid-off. El Crapico, people. So yeah, smash up the like, subscribe. We're nearly on 39k. We move. This is not a game we'll probably talk about again apart from Battle of North, and that's about it. Much better weekend football to come. Double header tomorrow on the watch along. Manchester City are kicking ball, and so are Man United and Arsenal. We'll be watching both those games back to back. Long watch along there. I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.